Good morning and welcome. Happy Friday. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. And how you doing? Give yourself a pat on the back. We've made it to Friday. That's always a good thing. I'll tell you what, it's already started out just absolutely crazy because this morning I didn't wake up till 7 o'clock. I haven't slept till 7 o'clock in 7 years, probably. It's just pure exhaustion. Everybody, we're doing all we can to find product, to get it in everybody's hands. Everybody out there, you guys have been fantastic, and we appreciate it. We're on top of it, though. Here's the great part: we're right where we want to be. Silver Eagle. We got bad news out of the bullion bank this morning. Silver Eagles, maybe a little longer. So, not cut off yet, but hang in there. We got really close. We had actually, like I always like to do, I like to always under promise and over deliver. A lot of people that weren't expecting Silver Eagles until February already got them. Matter of fact, Jason got the last little bit of his, so he actually called in a few more people up there in Colorado. But be patient. You're all locked in. I mean, silver could go to 50. You're locked. You're fine. You're good. So don't worry about that whatsoever. A couple of other things. Thank you guys so much. The CBD sales. We asked, hey, if we could just sell 10 products a day, it's going to change the life of the radio station. And we've been doing that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've been right on that number. Get yours today. I'm going to tell you that we are in talks right now. And I told you, if you guys deliver, I'll deliver. We are in talks right now as we speak to get a new transmitter installed at the radio station, which will be, I know for a lot of people that this is big. This will put us operating at max capacity and getting where we need to be. And the nice part is we can use the old transmitter for a lot of spare parts. This should set the radio station up for at least the next 10, if not 20 years. So keep ordering the CBDs. I didn't know a lot about CBDs. We've heard of it. I mean, it's the new and the latest thing. But when we started talking with my kind, and they gave us this wonderful opportunity, they sent me all these samples. And I started using them. I'm telling you, listen, it's not the, oh my gosh, I take them and now I have no pain whatsoever. It's not like that. All of us that are older, things just hurt. And I'm not even talking about the other stuff like the anxiety and the depression. CBDs can do a lot of things. And I don't want to make any medical claims because, the FDA doesn't want, they want you to take all the pill popping. But I was one of those guys. I was taking 4 to 12 Advil a day guy, depending on what I did. Like if I played golf, right? Let's just say I played golf on Saturday. First of all, I'd pop 4 before I teed off. I'd take another 4 when I got home, and I'd probably take at least another 8 or 12 the next day. I don't take any of it now. And I saw a study where they said the 71% of the people that are heavy, what they say heavy, I'll just say Advil takers, 71% of them, once they started taking CBD, either stopped taking it altogether or significantly reduced. I was one of those guys. We got the lotion and the coffee now for a little, and I know the coffee's like $59, but you get like 50 cups. I mean, for barely over $1 a cup. So you can get your CBD that way. The lotion, which we just added as well. I got a sample of that one about 3 weeks ago. Love it. Between that and I take more of the salve and the lotion because I like to. For me, it's just how I am. I'm like, here's where it hurts. I'm going to put it right where it hurts. And the tinctures, right? The 1,000 milligram tincture, that's like the number one seller out there. That's just you put the drops in whether it's your coffee, a water, juice, whatever it may be. They're all up there. 1360khnc.com. Hit the shop button. But this is going to be a monumental change for the radio station. We owe it all to you guys because that's how we're paying for it. So keep it up. We're going to keep trying to add more products. I know the next product we're adding is going to be the cocoa, which is my favorite. And we're also going to add a 3,000 milligram tincture because, like, I'm a bigger guy. So that 1,000 milligram tincture, I'm taking like the whole dropper and a little bit, and then, a little bit of another dropper. That way, with the 3,000 milligram one, I can just do, maybe half of a dropper or something like that. So those are going to be the two products that are coming next to the shopping cart. 1360khnc.com, and then go to that shopping cart button, and you can be the part of the reason why we're going to get a new transmitter and solve all these problems and become we're going to be the conservative flamethrower. We're attracting more and more sponsors, more and more advertisers, more and more show hosts, and we can't thank you guys enough. So, hey, happy Friday. Good news on that front. We'll talk about what's happening in the financial markets when we return. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Executive actions continue to flow out of the Biden administration. Another $25 billion in rental assistance is now coming down the pipe. And again, call this another bailout for the banks. Right, another bailout for the banks, because this is going to allow for people to pay their rent and I guess delay, right, any type of eviction, and also at the same time help the commercial real estate. Now, $25 billion, not nearly enough, but it's I guess it's a start. The rental assistance program is going to be distributed to the states. You have to apply for this program. So if you're one of those people, I don't know what the requirements are. I think my guess would be, this is just my guess, that if you can prove that you lost your job due to COVID, you could be eligible for this. One estimate saying that 14 million households, so 28 to 40 million people, because most places you're not living by yourself, are behind on their rent. They say more rental assistance needed to stave off the unprecedented eviction crisis. And again, I don't think they care. This has nothing to do with the 14 million people behind on the rent. It all has to do with the banks. Hey, if we give it to you and you guys pay your rent, right, then the banks won't have to default on it and all those other things. They're saying rental arrears is about $70 billion. So this won't. Wow. So if it's $70 billion, let's just say that number's right. When you securitize, what are we talking about? $1 trillion, right? At least 10 times, right? At least $700 billion. But this is $25 billion. Biden is also asking Congress for another $30 billion in housing aid. So there you go. Right, we're starting to get closer to them. And remember, we got another round of stimulus coming. For now, here's what you need to know: $25 billion in emergency rental assistance. To qualify for assistance, at least one member of your household has to have lost income or incurred significant expenses due to the pandemic, or be eligible for unemployment benefits, you will also need to demonstrate a risk of homelessness. In addition, your income level for 2020 cannot exceed 80% of your area's median income. Wow, there's a lot of reasons. Now, I know that sounds complicated, but for most people, that's not a problem. It sounds complicated, but that's not a problem. States have been directed to prioritize applicants who fall at 50% of or lower of a median income, and those that have been out of work for 90 days or more. Expect to have to show in writing that you meet these requirements, such as with a past due rent or utility notice. States will have funds by January 26th. So I'm telling you right now, if you, maybe a friend, a loved one, make sure you're ready day one. Day one. This will be out almost immediately. I can guarantee that. Matter of fact, if I was you, I'd be contacting my state right now. What do I need to have? What do I need to do? Can I get in the queue? Is there a list, right? And get ready for that. Where and how to apply will vary city by city. So there you go. Hopefully, if that can help you. So you got January 26th, another $25 billion. This is for renters. They should contact local housing groups and learn how you can apply for that. So that came in to pass today as well. PMI came out today. Now, this is something we don't talk a lot about. PMI. This is the Producers Price Managing Index, right? This is prices to people that make stuff. Okay. How is things going? And and it's really, they do all of it. They do, hey, how are you on orders, right? How are you on inventory? How fast are you getting orders out? How's your production costs going? What about your labor costs, right? So they have a bunch of things in here. The biggest increase we've seen in the last 13 years when it comes to cost to people that make things. And again, remember, we've been warning now. Jeffrey Gunlatch was out a couple of weeks ago. I told you all about it. We expect massive increase in the Fed's inflation gauge. We already know. It's ridiculous. Oh, no, we can't get to 2% inflation. We're going to get it and a whole lot more than that. And again, we're seeing President Biden now executive order this, executive order that. Half of them are ridiculous. Like, oh, we're mandatory mask when you go to the airport. I don't know. That's already exists. I mean, right? People are doing that already. Let the states handle their business. But anyway, we're starting to see these executive orders where we're seeing more money being spent. And remember, a lot of people still haven't gotten their that $600 check yet. They've started working now on the $1.9 billion. Remember, the $900 billion only gets everything to March. And when I mean everything, evictions and unemployment benefits, because a lot of people now, they're out. And so without out of time, you only get 26 weeks. So without an increase in the emergency unemployment benefits, they go off. So just that $900 billion. Remember, the president pushed back, wanted a bigger check, and then signed it right at, I think it was like the day before Christmas. 4 million people lost unemployment benefits for a couple of weeks because of that, because the extension, there was a gap. By March, if there's no extension, it's going to be closer to 8 million people, because that's how many more people will meet the 26-week deal. So I expect a lot of stimulus chatter coming down the pipe quickly, because they don't have a lot of time left. They're down. They've got less than 8 weeks now to do this stuff. And now we're seeing already a slower expansion in new orders in PMI, a huge upturn in inflation, and I think we're going to continue to see this as the spending keeps going. This is exactly what we're going to see. And remember, we saw it in the bond market. The bond market kind of told us, right? We're not getting a 0.5% yield in the 10-year note right any longer. Right now, it's above 1%. And again, and that's with the Fed doing all they can to hold it down. I think it's going to be a very interesting 2021. We're going to see massive spending from the Democrats. And again, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at, they're saying, they're pushing on lower than 1.9 billion. We can't stop it. As long as the Democrats hold together, they can pass whatever they want. They can pass whatever they want. And right now, and I apologize, I'm hearing chatter, and the people are calling, wanting to know what the special is. We're working on it. Give me a few minutes. We're waiting on some emails and some phone calls back. I apologize. Listen, it's tough every day. We're doing the best that we can to provide. Everybody's in this market. I'm just telling you right now, and I know, quick look here, by the way, gold's down $10 today, which it's laughable, right? Because demand is through the roof. But it can't go up every day. Or can it? Maybe it can. I don't know. But give us a little bit. Hopefully by the break, we'll have some more news for you. But the big news today, Joe Biden giving out checks. $25 billion more in rental assistance. So this is how they're trying to save the banks. Now they're saying, by the way, they want another $30 billion in the next round. So keep that in mind. The extension of unemployment benefits is going to be key. Remember, we've had back-to-back weeks of over 900,000 people filing for unemployment claims. And how about this one? Here it comes, canceling billions in student loan debt. Elizabeth Warren and Chucky Schumer getting together. It's going to be a daily thing, right? Yesterday we had the Democratic senator from West Virginia saying $4 trillion for infrastructure spending. Today we've got Elizabeth Warren and Chucky Schumer coming out together talking about the need to have your student loan debt, at least, if not forgiven, at least reduced. They say for over 43 million Americans, well, this is old. These numbers aren't any good, are buried under $1.5 trillion in federal student loan debt. It's $1.8 trillion. They're $300 billion behind. Last I thought I saw a number that we're over 50 million now that have student loan debt, including 6.3 million between the ages of 50 and 64. So this is the new push for the Democrats here. Well, listen, this is going to help old people too. I guess I'm old now. 50. I'm 50. I'm old now. God, that's so weird. And then they said millions of borrowers over the age of 65. I wish they would give a number. How many million? Let's just call it 10 million. 10 million people over the age of 50 still paying on their student loans. And this is another one of these things. Think about all these things they've done to us. Go back to the 70s. Right? And I always like to go back to when they took us off the gold standard. That's when these bankers went nuts. Nobody had credit card debt in 1971. Nobody. It barely existed. I don't know if you remember. I think it was called the Diners Club. I believe that's what it was called. Right? And it was only for super rich people. Right? Because they'd go out and to the real high-end restaurants. Right? And that way, you don't want to write a check, right? Or carry that much cash. Yeah, you rich people can have this credit card. Nobody had them. Now look at credit card, and think about this. What an incredible ripoff. Right? A 10-year note yields 1%. Most Americans pay credit card fee, about 18, 19, 20%? Student loan debt didn't exist in 1971. Now look at us. They've done a great job, haven't they? We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. We're finalizing the special for today. We'll have it at the next break, after the next break. So be ready for that one. The Dow's down today, 150 points. Gold's down 10. Silver's down a quarter. Crude oil's down. Another big crude oil build today as well. But still, crude's still $52. Not bad. I mean, really, I think to get and again, that's the Wall Street price. I don't know what the cash price is. My guess is the cash price is lower than that. We probably need at least another $10 a barrel or so to get the crude industry back to work. The problem is that just means what, right? We've got to pay more for gas, right? The gas here, about $2.50 here right now in Arizona. So gas is definitely up in the last, 8 weeks or so now. But back to student loans. This is nuts. These guys are nuts. I don't know how 80 million people voted for this guy. I don't. I mean, he didn't even campaign because he can't. It's not the fact that even now, right, how little we see of Biden is all you need to know. We're not going to see this. May be at least in the modern era, he'll be the least seen president in the modern era, going back to the Reagan era. And I think that on purpose, because he can't handle the job. But they're calling on the Biden administration to cancel up to $50,000 of student debt. So the number that we talked about last week was $10,000. No. Which might as well not do it at all at $10,000, right? Nope. $50,000 is what they're saying. And according to AARP, which, by the way, they send me stuff in the mail now. So I get, I'm old. Student debt burden for older Americans. And really, student debt really became big for my generation. So think about every year, another group of people turn 50, right? Another group of people turn 50. And these groups, every year, the number that have student loan debt at 50 skyrockets. And here's what AARP said, that go back to 2004, okay? And this is really a reflection of everything. Ever since the millennium rolled over, and really, I guess, started with the stock market crash, right? The tech bubble. These debt numbers have gotten insane, right? I mean, national debt was $5 trillion, right? Now we're going to probably be, by the end of 2021, probably be close to $35 trillion, right? Just nuts. Student loan debt, people over the age of 50, 2004, $47 billion. They only have figures through 2018. That number was $289.5 billion. I promise you right now, that number is probably $500 billion or real close to it. Because that number is already, it's 3 years old. And this is the thing that we're talking about where the whole country is leveraged. We talk about national debt. We talk about the Federal Reserve's balance sheets. We talk about the states and their pensions and all this, right? We know they're leveraged to the max. We talk about Wall Street leveraged to the max. Remember Bitcoin, I told you, just don't be leveraged in it, right? But we're all leveraged. We're all leveraged. You're over the age of 50. You got credit card balances, right? You're probably paying 20+%, which is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know that the interest banks are charging on credit cards has gone up during the rate of 0%? Student loan debt, it's second behind. We have more student loan debt than we have automobile debt. We have more student loan debt than we have credit card debt. Everybody's got to go to college. What a bunch of crap. Half the people in college should have been at air conditioning school, heating, plumbing, electricians, carpenters. You'd have been so much better off. You got more college degreed people checking you out at the supermarket. And now they're saying, hey, Social Security garnishments. So here's what happens when you hit Social Security and you haven't been paying your student loan debt. They start garnishing your Social Security check. And they're worried, right? There's hundreds of thousands of these people already, and they know, they see it coming. There's going to be millions of people getting their Social Security checks garnished for this. And they're saying that more than 70% of all garnished Social Security benefits had to do with student loans. And they're saying that the garnishments didn't even cover the fees and the interest. So even after getting the Social Security check garnished, their balances were still rising. Don't worry. We'll just create money and pay for it all. I mean, here's the sad part. $50,000 is not enough. It's not enough. Wow. Well, I knew this was happening. I did not know that this was getting to be this big of a problem. Whether they took out student debt for themselves or for a loved one. I didn't think about that. I guess it's true. As a parent, you could take out a loan for your kid. In both situations, they were told that education was the ticket to the American dream. It had nothing to do with education. It had everything to do with they wanted to maximize, right, what? All of your money. That's their goal. For you to have just enough money to pay all the minimum payments on your debt. That's all they want. And they've done it. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Hammer and Hank Aaron passed away. I just saw that. I remember when he hit the home run to Babe Ruth's record for the most home runs all time, and the fans were running the bases with him. It was Boy, can't do that anymore, right? Match. Not only get tackled, probably get tased, go to prison now. But change the game of baseball. Hammer and Hank Aaron, big baseball fan growing up. Collected baseball cards. My brother's still in it. He's a huge collector, but he buys cards crazy amounts. 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 baseball cards. I don't get it. But, I used to put them in my spokes so my bicycle would sound like a motorcycle. Man, was I dumb. Right? I probably had some really good ones. But, no, rest in peace, Hank Aaron. Specials. Here's what we've got. We've been collecting. We've been making our phone calls. Yesterday, we ran those MS-64 Saints at $2,275. We sold out of them in like 5 minutes. I got it. We tried to find more because that's what we do. This morning, I got a guy. I got 25 more of those. So if somebody wants, if you missed out on that 64 Saint special from yesterday, same price, $2,275. I mean, this is way up the grading scale on the 64s. They come in that hard plastic case, PCGS, NGC. I've got 25 of those. Yesterday, we ran the $10 pieces, AU quality $10 Liberties at $1,085. And we sold a lot of those. Got a response from that because we were pretty much sold out again late yesterday. After I had left, Arlene was calling me saying, "What do you want me to do?" And we put the word out. I've got about 50 more of those, also at $1,085. So kind of a retread from yesterday. And then I do have some $5 Liberties. I don't have a lot of them. These will be like XF, really nice, $600. So I've got some of those as well. But again, nothing in the low end. That's the circulated stuff. It's just as soon as if we get it, it's gone. But you got a couple of choices there: 800-951-0592. And put your orders in. All of this stuff. Here's the good news: we'll have all this stuff by the middle of next week, so it'll be in and out real quick for you. You won't have to wait. Like I said, the only wait now: Silver Eagles, the mint warning, the bullion bank warning. Silver Eagle delay has gotten a little longer, but hang in there. You're good. You'll get it, and you're locked in. Doesn't matter what direction silver goes. And we keep watching as Joe Biden, through executive action, signing all of these things, and now Wall Street having a down day as the expenses keep piling up. Again, I don't know how we're going to pay for it all, but I guess that's irrelevant, right? Because Janet Yellen said, hey, it's the smartest thing we can do. Let's go in to idiotic debt. Right? Because it's the smartest thing we can do. And really what that tells us is where we all have to have our money in the bank, right? Because you got to pay your bills. A lot of us can't even have a job without a bank account. The banks can't handle a recession. They can't. They have to have inflation. It's not we'd like to have it. That ship has sailed. It's not that we'd like to have it. We should have known in 2006 when they came up with this ridiculous 2% inflation rule. Do you know, how would you feel? How would you feel if they came out on TV and said, we'd like to devalue all the money you have in your bank account? Maybe, like a lot of us, hey, you've got a little pile of cash in your safe at home. Hey, we want that to be worth 2% less. We want to do that every single year. So in 10 years, that buys 20% less stuff. 20% less stuff every 10 years. And then, of course, they start lying about what the real number is. Right? All of a sudden, it was weird. If you go back and look at Social Security cost of living adjustments, which is tied to inflation, do you know it was always 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10%? Right up until the early 90s, when they came up with a new way of tracking inflation. Yeah, new way. Matter of fact, they made a couple of new ways. One, well, if one thing comes too expensive, you'll buy something cheaper, so that's not inflation. What? That's what they said. Oh, well, you know what? We made things better. There was improvements made. Now you got a backup camera in your car. So that's better. Right? And airbags and this. But didn't we make improvements on all this stuff for hundreds of years? Now guess what? It's not going to be 2%, 3%, 4%. That's right. They're going to devalue it big time. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. 3 lines open. Got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some MS-64 Saints at $22.75, which I just think that's just a steal. Just because of the grade. Let me put it in perspective for you. One more grade, the MS-65 Saint. And you're looking well over $2,600. So to get a 64 at $22.75, and the fact that a regular circulated 20 is roughly give or take $100 less. I just think that's fantastic. The AU like $10 libs, $1,085. Again, you're buying a better quality coin. Not that matters that much, but when you buy better quality, but you don't pay better quality price, that's what I like. Right? That's the key. Right? The problem is most of the time you buy these better quality coins and you pay way, way, way too much. So both of those great opportunities, and then $5 liberties, $600 at 800-951-0592. Silver Eagles, again, like I said, delays really increasing there. Jug silver, though, we're in great shape there, and we can get it, and we can get it quickly. Rolls a $50 at $2.20, rolls a quarters $2.15, rolls a dimes 107.50. The Dow is down about 100 points. Gold's 18.55, down 10. Silver down about 25 cents, $25.50, a little over $25.50 right now on silver. 800-951-0592. Don't forget our blog spot on 1360khnc.com. All of our new young conservative writers there. And then, of course, the CBD products that we're selling already. You guys are... I asked you guys, hey, if I could get 10 orders a day, this is going to make big changes for the station. So far, for 4 straight days in a row, 3 straight days in a row, we've done it. If you keep that up, listen, new transmitter. We're going to continue to do what we do. The conservative voice of freedom is not dead. Not dead, at least when it comes to the radio station that I own. And getting harder and harder to hear the real truth out there, but we're going to keep doing it for you. You support me, I'll support you. We'll do it all together. Check that out. Go out to the shopping cart at 1360khnc.com. And here's the best part. The thing that really excites me. These guys they're studs when it comes to that industry. They've won so many awards for their THC products. What we do, none of what we sell has marijuana. There is no THC. Everything done right here in the United States. Matter of fact, everything's done right in Colorado, and I mean everything. Not to mention the fact it's all organic. Not to mention the fact everything on my shopping cart is COA independently lab certified, so we know what the quality is. Thank you, everybody, so much. What an incredible week. God bless everybody, and thank you for your support and your patience. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend.